Live, local, late breaking. Channel 11 News starts with severe weather coverage.
Thunder, lightning, and heavy rain. The latest round of strong storms just came through Pittsburgh, and those storms have not moved out of the area just yet.
Meteorologist Scott Harbaugh is in Severe Weather Center 11 with Pittsburgh's most powerful radar. Scott.
Yeah, Storm Tracker Doppler 11 radar has been very active this afternoon. Numerous warnings. Let's take you on a quick tour of what's going on right now across the area. Put cell path on some of these storms right now because we got some severe weather, mainly southeast of Pittsburgh right now as these all track off to the southeast. Let's show you the warnings and watches that are out there right now. Severe thunderstorm warning to the south into Westmoreland, Fayette, in Washington County till 5:45, Beaver County until 5:30 this evening. Also a flash flood warning for Allegheny County until 7:15.
We want to take you out to Chopper 11, which is flying high live over the flash flooding along Washington Boulevard. We got some reports of drivers getting stuck in more than 4 feet of water there. Now, this is near the Allegheny River Boulevard by the zoo. As you can see, that looks like a red car there to the left and a minivan of some sort or SUV that's stuck as well. This looks pretty deep here. Obviously, these cars are almost submerged as this water is continuing to rise. Apparently, this area has been a problem in the past. In fact, when we got some heavy rain a few months ago, several cars were trapped then. And as you can see now, this condition is pretty bad and, in fact, may be worsening. We can't tell how many cars are there, and certainly we don't even know if there are drivers in there. I hope that's not the case.
Well, when this happened last month, that's when it was, Darius, last month, one of the drivers that was stranded actually got out of his car. And what we want to remind people here tonight is you're really not supposed to get out of your car because you could be swept away. You want to wait for people to come and rescue you. And we understand there are rescue teams on the scene.
Peggy and Darius, anytime you actually come across water like this, you definitely want to just turn around in that spot because it only takes six inches of water to knock a car off its axles a little bit and actually get you floating in that area. Keep in mind, this is the same area as you two mentioned, flooded just last month. And the reason for the flooding today, some of these areas picked up 3 inches of rain in about an hour and 10 minutes. The good news, though, Peggy and Darius, the hardest of the rain done in this area, so water should begin to recede just a little bit.
And those look like boats.
Yes,
there,
it
Peggy.
does.
Those in fact, could be some rescue boats there. You see the two boats that are alongside, the dinghies there that are alongside this vehicle that's underneath the tree. It's a good thing, Scott, as you point out, that the rain is done. Now we just have to hope that this water recedes fairly quickly.
And these folks are definitely being smart. They're waiting for the boats to come get them. You obviously see the rescue crews there on the scene. Again, this is Washington Boulevard over near Highland Park. You see the rescue crews there pulling people out of their cars. They did the smart thing because the water in that area, from the reports I'm getting on Twitter and Facebook, about 4 to 5 feet deep. So obviously not completely submerging the cars, so safe to stay on the roofs of those cars right now until the rescuers can come get you.
Yeah, and the other thing is you don't know if there's a downed power line in the water. You can't see in that mucky water, so you don't really know what you're stepping into, and you could be injured, so yes.
And we're looking now at some ground video that we have. This is live video shot now from the ground, and as we can see, there is a rescuer there in a boat literally paddling to the rescue of someone trapped in a car there. Interesting boat or dinghy or floating device that they're on. Obviously, it's a little murky down there and they're having to paddle through, but we know that there are several cars there. Obviously, the drivers are still inside, and so this has become a rescue effort.
As soon as the weather was safe, we sent our Chopper 11 up in the air.
And we saw some pretty dramatic pictures if you've been with us. The situation unfolding live for you. Channel 11's Rick Earl is in our breaking news center to show us what's happening right now. Rick.
Well, Darius, we are hearing some dramatic survival stories there on Washington Boulevard. We just spoke to a woman who says she was driving down Washington Boulevard. All of a sudden, the water swallowed up her car. She actually had to get on the roof of her vehicle and then swim to safety. It's an incredible scene taking place right now on Washington Washington Boulevard. Let's go right to Chopper 11. These are live pictures as rescue workers there are trying to rescue people trapped in vehicles. As many as 6 vehicles swallowed up, stranded by this rising water when the rain came down, torrential rains this afternoon, and trapping these cars and these vehicles there. We understand right at this hour, right at this moment, those rescue crews are working to rescue those people out of these vehicles. Again, 6 vehicles trapped in this rising water. And this is that same area that flooded about a month ago. You see our ground video right there, just shot a short time ago. Another rescue crew there paddling to these cars, checking these vehicles out. That is the woman standing right there with that blue blanket around her. She is a woman we talked to who was on top of her vehicle and had to swim to safety. Here's what she had to say about this afternoon.
We were traveling fine. Water was probably up to the bumpers of some of the smaller cars, but I was in an SUV, so I was like, okay. And then the road just opened up. I mean, just opened up, and a white car sunk. This big red pickup truck went under, and then water started coming in my doors. I called 911. They said try to swim for it. The water by that point was over my head. It started coming in, so I climbed to the roof, and then the car, started going under.
Wow, incredible stuff there. She also told us a story about an elderly woman who was in a vehicle and had to be rescued by another stranded motorist down there. So motorists helping motorists here in this situation. Of course, we will stay on top of this. We have a crew out there right now. We'll continue to monitor the latest developments from Chopper 11 as that rescue continues unfolding on Washington Boulevard.
Live, local, late breaking. Channel 11 News 11 at 11 starts with severe weather coverage.
Chopper 11 over deadly flooding along Washington Boulevard in Highland Park. The water came quick and fast, trapping people inside their cars and SUVs. Good evening, everyone. I'm Darieth Chisholm. We followed the rescues live tonight at 6, and we've uncovered a lot of new information since then. Here's the very latest. Investigators tell us 3 people are confirmed dead. They include an adult and 2 children. Emergency crews are still searching for 1 person who is unaccounted for, and Washington Boulevard remains closed tonight. We have Team 11 coverage of this major weather story tonight. Let's begin with Tamika Artist. She joins us live near Washington Boulevard, where the waters have receded this evening. Tamika?
Well, Derek, that's right. Rescuers are still searching for 1 elderly woman. They say that her car is here, but she is not. I can tell you that this was an unbelievable situation. At one point, Washington Boulevard was under about 10 feet of water. There were people hanging from trees and standing on tops of their cars, just waiting to be rescued. For a woman and 2 kids, those flash floods proved to be deadly. It was a tragic scene along Washington Boulevard.
At some points down there, the water was over 9 feet deep. It had a lot of force behind it.
These muddy streets now representing a story of survival for some, a watery grave for 3 people.
That particular vehicle was pinned against a tree, and the occupants were unable to escape.
The car was already submerged. By the time I realized that, someone was trapped, but it was near where my car was.
Tara Howes was on her way home when rainwater suddenly overtook her car and sent it floating toward Allegheny River Boulevard. Emergency workers and boats scrambled to save more than a dozen people stranded in 10 feet of water. She describes how 1 man tried desperately to save 3 people who died.
I know that there was a man that was trying to help them get out, but he said he couldn't break the window, and he ended up climbing into a tree.
I talked with several witnesses who say they've never seen anything like this. Some had to think fast to survive the rapidly rising waters.
By the time I got my purse ready to get out, I couldn't open my doors. I had to climb out through the window and sit on my roof.
A woman and 2 children, unfortunately not so lucky.
Very sad.
Well, as you can see, Washington Boulevard remains closed tonight. As for why those waters rose so quickly, the public safety managers could not say. They say that's something that they are looking into. We know that at least 30 homes are flooded this evening, and again, 1 person still unaccounted for. Reporting live tonight, I'm Tamika Artist to Channel 11 News.